the details for Lily and Eve. No Raven, which I do not know why, because when they tweeted it out, Eve's details, they deleted it for some reason. I do not know why, and then they brought it back. So Eve uses AR Drone 2.0, an assault rifle. Eve is an attacker who performs additional attacks when landing critical hits and inflicts debuffs based on her opponent's elements. Her burst skill enhances her skill and attack power, allowing her to unleash powerful additional attacks. Eve's abilities all level 10, and there's no need to look at the animation when we've seen it a bunch of times and it's beautiful. So the attacker, burst 3, bunch of passives, and active. Iron, assault rifle. Now for the first passive, impact type Exos Spine. Skill 1 passive. Activates when entering the battlefield. Permanently gain critical rate plus 60% forever. She forever has 60% critical rate. So most of the time you'll see more, well, it's basically like a coin flip, sort of a coin flip. The coin will be a little bit towards your favor, but it's more so of a coin flip of critical hits, which is called Impact Type Exospine. Activates when landing 44 critical hits. So I will say, since Eve is a attacker with critical hits who needs to land a bunch of bullets, pellets onto the raptures, so give her attack, critical damage, elemental damage, max ammo, those sorts of gear buffs. When landing 44 critical hits, it will affect one enemy or multiple enemies, depending on what you are doing. Unstable energy. Deal 240% of final attack damage. Attack. How do you say that word? Sequentially for 3 times. So, just like a active, they'll do a bunch of damage and then do an extra thing for a final attack damage. But for Eve, it'll do like some sort of special attack where it will attack 3 times, 240% damage. So let's say if you're in campaign, you defeat a rapture with that ability, just leaving 2 more hits available. I would assume those 2 extra hits will go towards any other enemy. Hopefully, and all 3 hits does not activate at once on one enemy. It will be good for bosses as well. Her other ability activates when unstable energy hits the target. Affects the target if they belong to electric code. So this will only work if they're on electric. Damage taken, an extra 10% damage for 10 seconds whenever unstable energy activates. I would assume it's only electric because it says right here, affects the target if they belong to electric code, which sucks. It would have been better if it were to affect all enemies. Or they could have made something cool if they made a. If Eve takes less damage from fire or gains reload speed whenever facing against a wind enemy. It would have been cool if they did something like that. But it is what we're, we're given. Now for her Eagle Eye type Exospine passive. Another passive ability. Activates when entering the battlefield. So this will enter right away, just like with the critical hit rate. Eagle Eye type Exospine. Furious effects trigger repeatedly. An attack increase by 50% of casters attack continuously. So give Eve a bunch of attack so you can maximize the value of the extra 50%. And as well as max ammo, so you can maximize the extra 25% ammo. So Eve can have a bunch of ammo. More ammo and more damage. Really good. Her last ability for her second passive activates when landing 10 normal attacks. So it doesn't have to be critical hits, just 10 regular attacks, which will happen every 1/4 of your critical hits, up to 44. Affects self if the target belongs to electric code. Reloads 3 rounds, which is good against electric enemies, but sucks that if the ability just works on electric enemies, which that would suck. Hopefully it will be for all enemies, but it probably be electric enemies. Now for her counter chain active skill, 40 seconds. Affects self. Exospine MK2 function enhance exospine, which will last for 10 seconds. So triggers impact type exospine MK2, which is this one right here. It will activate this ability. Not too far. Damage multiplier of unstable energy sequentially attacks is scaled by 100%. So this right here, the 240%, it will increase by 100% for 10 seconds. So meaning it will do 480% damage whenever you land 4 critical hits. It will target 1 enemy, and then it will move on to the next if it's the first enemy is defeated, or in a boss it will do a bunch of damage 3 times. Really good. Eve is really a damage dealer. Triggers Eagle Eye type Exospine MK2. Or it's the passive. Oh, oopsies, I thought it was going to be a certain ability from the information, but it affects the whole passive. So Eagle Eye type Exospine MK2 damage multiplier of Eagle Eye type Exospine is scaled by 100%. So right here, instead of 50% of Eve's attack, it will be 100% of Eve's attack. And I would assume that she will also get a extra 25%. So an extra 50% ammo for max ammo for 10 seconds. Eve is going to be a damage dealing monster. I will say this right now. Eve is going to do a bunch of damage. And that is all for Eve's kit. I would assume that this... Oh wait, oopsie. I forgot about her dealing the damage. So just like 2B, she'll do some sort of attack with her sword. She'll do 457.14% of final attack damage. Attack 6 times. So it will be 6 times 457.14%. That will be like around 27,000 damage. No, 27% of damage. In addition of her extra 100% of caster attack damage. So this will be added with an extra 100%. So it will probably be in total of 3,200%, maybe? Let me use a calculator. Eve will do 500% damage, or if I calculate it right, either that or this. Oopsies, not that. Point, there we go, times 6, then plus 100%. Oh, I don't know if this is right, but she'll do 500% damage with the extra 480% damage whenever you land 44 critical hits. I would say Eve is really good. Very, very, very good. So like I said, give Eve a bunch of attack, a bunch of elemental attack, max ammunition, critical damage, water to boost Eve's attack. Primarily, regular base attack increase and elemental damage will be your priority. Now for Lily. Oh, I got 2 X notifications. Is that Raven? Hopefully it's Raven. Reload. No. Something else then. Oh, what is that number I see? Oh, 40? 40. 40. Okay. No passive abilities. None. 0. No passive. So everything. Oh my god. Well, I don't think she'll be replacing Crown. I would presume she's free to play. Judging from this, dear lord. So when her burst skill activates, affect one random ally. So you cannot choose who the buff will be given to. An extra 20%. That's really good, but you'll be taken in 1 in 4 chance of whoever's going to get the buff. I guess it will be good if the buff goes to, let's say, if you're using burst skill 1 Rappy, and then her as a burst 2, and then another 40-second burst 2, like made masked, and then you'll have Cinderella and Mandarin on the team. Oof. So you'll be taking a 1 in 4 chance. Covers all allies. Covers HP, recovers by 10%. So the cover HP of the shield will recover by 10%. And that is nice. Smallish. I don't remember how much litter gives, but it's okay. So for size adjustments, I don't think of if only you're able to precisely pick which ally to receive the buff, it will be good. Emergency repair, which is that, and then her other active skill, the best engineer. Oh, Lily affects one random ally, so another 1 in 4 chance whose cover has been destroyed. Rebuild cover with 30% HP if the cover has been destroyed. So even the slightest bit of armor left on the cover or shield, she will not restore that. So if all your allies have a itty bitty bit of shield, it won't work. An extra 20% of caster's attack, which is good. Another 1 in 4 chance. Affect one random ally if there is no ally unit whose cover has been destroyed. So you either have this dot activate or you will have this dot activated. So only this one will work or this one would work. 1 in 4 chance if no ally unit cover has been destroyed, give them an extra 40% attack increase. So in short, she is a free-to-play gambler. You take the risk of hopefully maximizing the power of your burst 3 Cinderella Mandarina to do a bunch of damage. Or will you choose Crown, who will buff all your allies with a good generous amount just like this? I would say she's fine for a free-to-play. For a free-to-play, she's fine. She's usable. And that's basically it for Lily. I would say, should you summon for Eve? Of course, you should summon for Eve because she's a limited character. Limited-ish, because they're bringing back 2B and A2, I presume. So much summons are going to happen. The Eve collaboration characters, Eve, Raven, and then 2B, A2, and then the summer skins. Well, not summer skins, the summer versions of some other NIKKEs that are going to come out. And then maybe a potential other NIKKE between all of that. So much to summon for. Luckily, I have 2B and A2 already, so I just need to waste 400 gold tickets on Eve and Raven, and I should be fine. I'll come back when Raven's details come out. Hey guys, so it was a good thing that I waited and not immediately upload the Lily and Eve skills. So good thing I waited. So Raven uses rocket launcher Sio Blade. Raven is an attacker whose attack power grows stronger whenever she destroys enemy parts. Her burst skill allows her to unleash AoE attacks for her, enhancing her own offensive capabilities. So Raven, let's see what she does. So Raven, rocket launcher, cold yellow or iron, just like Eve. So they're both yellow. An attacker burst tree, 2 passive and then active of 40 seconds. So first, shockwave. Passive skill 1 activates. Activates when performing 4 charge attacks. So here, if you spam them out, it won't work. Affects one enemy unit nearest to the crosshair. So basically, a direct hit on the enemy. Deal 68.46 of final attack as sustained damage every 1 second. Stacks up to 10 times and lasts for 5 seconds. So this is more so of a boss or yeah, more so of a boss ability right there. Activates when entering full burst. Affects self and increase 47.52% attack of caster's attack for 10 seconds. So you want to give Raven an extra attack and elemental damage in her gears. Blue Blade. Her second passive activates when entering the battle. Vital attack. Damage to parts and increase for 21. What? For 5 seconds? So she will enter the battlefield and gain that buff for 5 seconds. Just like with Summer Rosania, she also gets something like this and it goes away. And that sucks. Activates when entering full burst. Well, she will get that buff again when entering full burst. So it doesn't really go away, but it would have been nice if that was for forever keeping that ability. The parts don't even last that long anyway. They should have just kept the extra 21.12%. So it will have been 41.24 whenever she uses her, well, when the full burst effect happens. But sadly, it's just plain old 21.12% for 5 seconds. Activates, so her skill 2 activates when an ally or self destroys an enemy's part. Affects self with self is what? Affects self if self is not in AN mode status. So when she is not in AN mode, so I do not know what that is. Single point attack, sustained damage, and increase 47.32% for 15 seconds. Removes vital attack. So, oh, okay. So when her one of her allies destroys an enemy's part, she'll affect herself when she is not in AN mode status an extra 47.32% sustained damage buff to the enemies for 15 seconds, and it will remove the vital attack. That actually works well because for the full burst, the vital attack will activate, and then once the part gets destroyed, then this part activates when she is not in AN mode status. I guess everything so far works collectively well with her passive. So her burst skill, Tempest, affects all enemies, including parts. So this is the massive AoE damage. Deal 49 point no 49 492.3% of a final attack as burst skill damage. Affects self AN mode. Removes single point attack. Effect 2. Sustain damage 89.44% for 10 seconds. So Raven is heavily focused on bosses. I would assume she's just a NIKKE boss destroyer. She'll probably be good against the Kraken, the Train, Thomas, that is, Chatterbox, those types of bosses. So she will do 492.3% of final attack as burst skill damage. She'll go into AN mode and she'll remove single point attack. And gain sustained damage, basically 90% for 10 seconds. So I would assume she'll permanently go into AN mode, or unless it's just for the burst skill effect. I don't know if Raven will be good. And for most of the content, like campaign, bosses, PvP, everywhere, I think Raven is just a boss NIKKE when Eve is very good. I would say Eve is very good. Raven, I don't know. Well, she'll probably do good damage anyway. But will it be the best? I don't think so. Oh wait. So it takes 1 second to charge the rocket launcher. I guess that'll be helpful. I don't know about Raven. I don't know about Raven. So this is all. So like, subscribe. Goodbye.